I want to share part of our site that is rewilding. Rewilding is allowing nature's course and diversity to happen versus getting in there and trying to, control, manipulate, and just put a lot of extra work into what you're trying to do. You work with the energy that is here. So the area I'm showing you is actually right outside in front of our house, right? This area is regenerating. It's returning to forest. And it has a lot of pioneer species in it. What a lot of folks call invasives are popping up because that's the first level, the first step in succession toward going back toward a climax forest. Getting those mid-upper story established ecosystems in place start with these early characters. Oftentimes they're spiky, thorny, they're tough. But what they're doing is they're coming in and they're covering disturbed ground, right? Mother Nature doesn't want bare ground. Not in these settings, not where we're at. In the mid-Atlantic, we're full of humidity. We're full of deciduous forest energy that just wants to come back out of the earth, right? So we work with that because, that's less work for us. Come into these zones and start planting in the fruits and the nuts and the overstories, the future food forests that we want to see growing here, then we're interacting with the energy that's already present. So it's a lot less work for us. And these characters that are spiky, thorny, quote unquote invasive are helping create the ground cover. They're helping build the soil mass. They're feeding the fungi. They're bringing in a diversity of insects versus if this area was sort of more clear cut and cleaned, it's gorgeous too. Look at all this purple behind me, right? It's just a different way of seeing the change that's going on around us and seeing how to work with it versus trying to control it, right? Trying to revert it to something that it was versus how do we keep up during times of intense climatic change, right? Let's be creative. Let's pair with those species that are successfully moving forward in the time of an extinction, right? So how do we continue to grow our food in this changing climate without tons of energy inputs, which has kind of put us in the place that we're in, right? Industrial, destructive agriculture, landscape use in general has led us into a position of allowing a lot of what we call invasive plants to establish, right? So it's not the plants, it's our actions and activities on the landscape. So be it. It's already happening. It's already happened. So what do we do now? How do we be creative now with what we're dealing with? Fighting it's not I don't think that's creative. That's the same old paradigm. That's power over, right? That's like, how do we eradicate? Even just thinking of plants as invasive is a mindset that's going to lock you in and not help you move forward. So what can we do, right? We can observe how these patterns are emerging and we can insert our food systems into them, especially perennial food systems. We can grow our fruits, our nuts, our useful plants, our willows, all these other characters that can help us thrive and survive as a species into this emerging new ecosystem mix, right? So look how we can work with them, how they can become beneficial to new design systems, new food systems that we're creating.